What is going on, people? I have been hearing so much on the internet about who's black, who's not black, who's Jewish, who's not Jewish, who are the real Jews. It's my grandmother used to say that if you hear something enough times, there's got to be some truth to it. Even if it's a lie, it's got to be some truth to it. So, that being said, I'm going to play a couple of clips and I'm going to give you my take on it.
That blacks haven't had a hard time. This idea of what is owed to us, what is owed
blacks,
to them.
do you mean people of African descent?
Yes.
Okay.
When we say what is owed to them, we aren't them. These people are no longer with us. The problem is that identity politics forces us to see everyone.
Okay, so she mentioned identity politics. She's absolutely freaking right. I I couldn't agree with her more. So I'm not going to agree with her more. I'm going to agree with her just a little bit less. You still have the same the government that allowed slavery to persist, to continue for as long as it did, is still in place. So a lot of people think, okay, well, that was then, that was in the past, and people need to get over it. But then when it comes to Jewish people, if you disrespect them, they don't care how many years ago it was. So why is it this trend that black people have to be silent about what our ancestors endured? Bullcrap. You got the same racist government in charge. And guess what? Those racist people that lived way back then, they taught their same beliefs to the next generation and the next generation and so forth and so forth. And it continues to this day. So even though I agree that she's right on that point, I think she's misguided.
In a particular group, as opposed to seeing people as individuals. And as I was saying, the child of a rapist should not have to carry the burden of his father's crimes. It's important to recognize that people are individuals, and those individuals are responsible for the things that they do. I believe that.
So yeah, we should look at people as individuals. But however, realistically, and I'm pretty sure she knows this, she seems like a well-educated person. When certain bills are passed into law, it's not based on the individual, it's based on the group. This is a known fact. And I say she should know this. When you make a hate crime bill for a Chinese person, it's not just for that individual, it's for the group. So she can miss me with that. Let's get ready for the next clip.
Harris is the father of Kamala Harris. He is a Jamaican-American economist and professor at Stanford University. Born in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, in 1963, he came to the United States.
Okay. So the light-skinned gentleman in the middle is Kamala Harris's father, which she really doesn't have any communication with long term. They aren't close. They are not close at all. She speaks highly of her mother, but you rarely ever hear her say things in a loving manner about her father. Now, from what I understand, she is calling herself black. But at the same time, she says she's not going to do anything for the black community. She can't see herself doing anything specifically for the black community. If she does something for them, then she has to do it for everybody else. But what about the crime bill in favor of the Asian hate crime bill? What about all the other minorities that come to America? What about, in recent times, the Venezuelans? They don't have a crime bill, but they get money out to American taxpayers. Here's the thing. If we're going to go by the metric that you are what your father is, then it's real simple. This is the end of this discussion. Who does he identify with? Gay, lesbian, straight people, everybody's got their pronouns, and American government seems to want to cater to everybody's personal identification. Okay, whatever the heck that's going to mean. Well, if we're going by that metric, then what does this man say about himself? Does he identify as a black person? Just because he's dark-skinned don't mean he's black. He is of African descent, but being black is not that's not a nationality. It's a culture. Her mother, Kamala's mother, said that she was raising 2 black girls. You know why she said that? Because she wanted her to fit in. She didn't want her to be an outcast. Her mother is Indian. Okay? The next town over from me, there's a pizza shop right next to an Indian shop. I would never call those Indians black just because they got a little melanin in them. They're not black. They're Indian. Just because they have some dark skin don't make them black. So just because Kamala Harris's father has some melanin don't make him black. So if he don't identify as black, she not black. Not to mention, what's on the birth certificate? What's on his birth certificate? I'm just saying.
Came to the United States and earned a PhD from University of California, Berkeley. He met his wife Shyamala Gopalan, who is from India. They married and had 2 daughters, Kamala and Maya. Donald Harris